My lords, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Cities Skylines. This is episode 3, and as we left off in the previous episode, we were having some worker shortages in terms of we didn't have any well-educated workers or even enough educated workers in our city, and that is starting to cause some problems for some of our commercial employers along our main avenue here. So if we want to try and improve the education level in our city, we are going to need a high school. Obviously, as we can see, that's going to cost us 24,000. We only have 12, so about 50% of what we need. But what we can do is we could pay back our existing loan there. That'll take us to 3,000. And we could go ahead and actually take out the large loan here for 60,000 to give us a little bit extra to play with. That gives us 63,000, which is obviously more than enough to get in a high school. So let's decide which one we want, shall we? What do we have here? It's a public library. Okay, do we want that one or do we want this one? I'm going to go for this L-shaped high school, I think. No particular reason, just that's the one I fancied using. So where do we want to put it? We want to try and get it somewhere where it's going to have a decent catchment. Get rid of that. Let's have a look. I'm going to say we'll put it here. Then it's not too far from our main avenue running through the centre of our residential districts here. Yes, we've had to get rid of a few houses to place it down, but that's okay. They will rebuild pretty quickly, I am sure. Now, in the meantime, I have added in a lot of extra mods, mainly UK-themed mods, so hopefully we'll start seeing some of those come through pretty soon. They're mainly like the assets such as the cars and the vehicles. As we see here, look, we've got a UK-themed police car following his American cousin, who's following his UK cousin. So, as we can see, some of the mods are taking effect already, which is excellent. We should start seeing some UK-style housing buildings being constructed as well, hopefully. But we'll keep an eye on that. But we need to press on. So what we got going on at the minute was a state of play. We have a demand for residential, as we can see, and we also have no water being supplied to our high school that we just put down. So we'll go ahead and just extend the water pipe out just a touch there so we get some water coverage. And we're going to want to go ahead now and zone our new residential area to meet this demand that we have. So let's do that. So we want to go to our roads. We'll go to a medium road. As we can see here, we've got a lot of UK style roads now, which is excellent to make it more lifelike or home-like for myself, because obviously I am from the UK. And let's see how these are going to compare to our existing road network. Let's just run it out a little bit there. So they're both 4-lane, as we can see. These take up obviously more space, as we can tell by the fact they're wider. But what we could do, if we wanted to, is actually upgrade our existing avenue to the UK style. All the way down. We'll just do the residential area for now, up until our main arterial road there. And we can leave that. We can always change that later on if we need to. So there we go. Obviously this has affected the commerce because they are no longer touching the road, so they didn't have that active connection. So we need to go ahead and refill in all this area here so they are active once again. So we'll get that done nice and quick. Okay, there we go. That commercial buildings now should start being rebuilt. In fact, yes, we can see them laying down ground straight away, which is excellent. What else do we want to do? Ah, yes, we were going to zone some residential, weren't we? So let's get that done. Don't want to pause it. So let's go to our small roads now. Do we have the UK roads here? We do. We don't want one way, not at this point. We'll have two-way. That's one way. We want two-way with parking. Here we go. Because our residents are going to want somewhere to park their cars, obviously, when they get home. And what we're going to do now, we're going to move to a more grid-like structure, I think. And we're just going to try and like blend the two themes together. So we'll have the freeform theme that we started with, but we'll also not shy away from having a slight grid structure as well, just like this. Obviously, there is the argument that the grids are more efficient, and it's hard to argue against that, to be fair, because you make better use of your space. However, the advantage of doing freeform roads is you get the option to have fills. The advantage of having freeform roads and curves is that because you're not taking up the entire block and you have spaces between your eligible zones, you can lay down some paths and pavements and cycle areas a lot easier without disrupting your residents. So that is also worth bearing in mind. Plus, obviously being from the UK, our towns are a bit more freeform as well. So having freeform roads just makes it more quote-unquote realistic for myself. Anyway, let's continue on. That's enough waffle. What do we want to carry on? Can they park here? They can park here. There we go. Let's just mix these roads up a little bit. You don't want to have all the same style road throughout the entirety of the city, obviously. We want to have some variety and variation where we can. And I think that will do for now. We'll have this open space here because, as I said, it gives the opportunity to put in some paths and cycleways, which is obviously going to encourage our residents to walk or to cycle rather than driving all over the city, which obviously helps your traffic flow because you have fewer residents in cars. We don't need any more commercial, to be fair, at this point. I did notice, I think we had... What's the issue here? You do not have a connection. Okay, let's just see if we can address that. Okay, we do have a connection. In fact, looking at it now, all these electricity pylons are redundant because the bubble has crept over to this water pump, so we didn't need the extra... I don't know, I've just deleted there, but I didn't want to delete it. Oh, my days, never mind. Likewise, this is no longer required, so we'll get rid of that as well. But yes, I did... Yes, there we go. We're in the yellow zone. We're producing 62 megawatts and we're consuming 59, so we don't have much in the bank. And obviously, once these new residents start moving in, we're going to have higher power draw, so we do want to address that. So let's go ahead and head up here and get ourselves some extra wind turbines on the hill. Where can we squeeze one there and one there? So ideally, or in theory, that should produce an extra 16 megawatts, which should give us enough of a buffer. And it should reduce any brownouts. Yes, I know you need water. We're getting to that now. So let's just get that sorted, shall we? Let's see. It's about there. The midpoint, pretty much. Are we getting full coverage there? Yes. Obviously, we need to cover down here as well, which we'll do by just running a pipe down this way. Like so. One thing I have noticed while I was doing all this is, as we can see here, our trucks are using this Shirley Green Street here as a way to turn around and head back to the industrial sector. Now, I would prefer it if they didn't do that. So what we could do to help them along is change this intersection here from a four-way junction to a roundabout. And one of the new mods I have is Roundabout Builder, which will do it for you. So what we'll do, we'll set one up here. We'll have a 15 tile radius, and it's going to be a 2-lane road. Just your standard 2-lane road, I think. Let's have a look here. 2-lane road, well, that's 1 lane, 1 lane, 1 lane. In fact, we'll just go for the standard 2-lane road there. And then if we click on this intersection, you can see where the roundabout is going to be drawn in by the red circle. So if we go ahead and click it now, we have a roundabout. There we go. That means our vehicles can now, as we see... Oh, he's not done it. I thought he was going to be off first, but we'll have one in a moment who will just use a roundabout to turn around and head back down the avenue to where he came. There we go. Look, he's just done it. Excellent. So that should stop the traffic coming down here. Why is there a tractor down here? What on earth is going on here? You're unemployed, but you own a tractor. That's a new one on me. Well done. So anyway, yes, we need some more industrial areas, don't we? So let's go ahead and handle that. Now I'm going to extend this main arterial connection road here all the way to the river's edge. The reason being, in the future we are going to... Oh, hello. Boomtown. So we have public transport now open to us. We can do heating if we need to. Some extra roads have been unlocked. Advanced wind turbines. We have cemeteries. Ferry depots, warehouses, post offices, biofuel bus depots, and all that good stuff. We'll take a look at that in a moment. As I was saying, what I want to do is extend this road here, because in the future we are going to bridge over this and have a roundabout connection onto the highway here as well. So in terms of future proofing and getting ready for that, let's go ahead and get it set up now, or at least get the groundwork in place for it. So that's no parking. We do want one with parking, really. How about this one, what has a bus lane? Oh, although we're not going to have buses, I don't think. There we go, let's use that one. So if we just extend it to, say... Yeah, extend it by 20 units to there. Yes, that's fine. We do have a boulder in the middle of the street, which we shall get rid of. And in fact, what we'll also do is, using the same roads... just upgrade these ones as well. They're roughly the same width, so they're not going to demolish anything, which is perfect. There we go. So now we've got more UK-style streets rather than the generic ones, which is obviously adding to the theme of this map, which is excellent. Anyway, yes, industrial area. So let's go ahead and get some zoned down now. We want parking, so if we look at the icons here, we can see which ones do have parking available. This one does, for example, so we'll go ahead and use that one. This one would be nice as it has the cycle path at the side, however it is no parking. And ideally we do want parking so people, although look, no, yeah, we do have quite a lot of parking occurring down here, don't we? So yes, we want to have the parking available to them. Let's just upgrade these roads here with the new style UK roads, like so. And then we're going to lay in a new road from around about here. And we'll run it, I think we'll run it along the coastline of the river. And we can have a connection into our forestry area just there as well. So if we run it sort of like this, it can follow the bank of the river there. Just, how does that, yeah, straight will be fine, that'll be fine. Excellent. Now we need to put in some areas for zoning. So if you come straight and then curve in, say, yes, that'll do. And then we'll have a road which comes down here just to give us more squares to zone down. No, let's not have that curve when it doesn't really need to. Let's try that again. We don't want the bulldoze tool. How do I get rid of it? I click it. There we go. Okay, so it's going to curve slightly, but it's better than it was before. I don't want to connect this onto our main arterial road. You want to have as few junctions on this as possible, so it's a bit more free-flowing. Looking at this, we have traffic starting to build up here, so we may want to replace this junction with a roundabout as well. But for now, we'll just get the industrial zoned in, and we can always just swap out that junction there for a roundabout in a few moments. There we go, just blanket coverage just down here. I don't think we're going to need these electricity pylons here anymore. Let's just check. Yes, although once this starts building, these should become redundant, so we can get rid of them hopefully in the near future. What we'll also do is, why has that path disappeared? I'm not entirely... Oh, is that what I deleted? It could be. Let's go ahead and put the path back down, shall we? Pavement path, we want freeform. Not like that though. There we go. And I think what we'll also do is we'll put a path. In fact, I'm going to pause it quickly. And in this area here where nothing has yet built, I'm going to put a public path that extends above the road. So a pedestrian footbridge across the road like that. That then comes down nicely and links into the path network down here. We want this as smooth as possible. I think that's about the best gradient we can get. Yes, there we go. And then just connect it in like so. And then we want to do the same over here. I think we should have enough space here to get a nice smooth... Oh, it's quite steep, but they'll still use it. There we go. So now the pedestrians have a way to cross over here rather than having to walk all the way up to here and use this crossroads. Which, if we change it for a roundabout, may no longer be an option for them, let's be fair. So we'll give them the flyover here instead. We'll also put a little path. We can unpause it now. If we put a path here as well, and they can get from the end of this road here to the sidewalk on the street, and then they can head down to the footbridge we just put in place. Okay, I can't quite... There we go. It's going to have to connect like that. That's fine. I wasn't sure if there wasn't a connection there because there was that bit of grass in between. But at least now it looks like we have the connection that we need. Hopefully we'll start seeing people use this in the near future. How's the traffic over here? Well, it has subsided. But let's be honest, it probably makes sense to put a roundabout here as well, doesn't it? So let's go ahead and do that. So we want a 2-lane road. In fact, we use a roundabout tool again. 2-lane road, UK... 2-lane, there we go. Maybe make this one a little bigger because it's going to be higher capacity. So if we go for 20. Yeah, it's probably going to get rid of this building here, but oh well. They'll have to get over it, I suppose. Now, ideally, we don't want people crossing... What? Where are you taking that chainsaw? Sir? Okay, yep. Let's not ask questions. Let's just leave them to it. Oh, we've got another one here. People just taking chainsaws for a walk. Because why wouldn't you? So anyway, yes. As I was going to say, we ideally don't want people using this to cross over. You wouldn't cross over on a roundabout normally. Unless you had traffic lights in place. Which obviously these ones do not. But this should help keep traffic a bit more free-flowing. As we can see over here. Our pedestrians are using our footbridge, which is perfect. Another chainsaw. 2 of them. I hope they don't start having some sort of battle. 3 of them. Okay, let's just ignore the chainsaw men for a moment. What's going off here? Is this the... Oh, it's just the god rays, as they call them, from the lights. That's quite pretty over there. In fact, the whole town looks quite nice at night, doesn't it? Oh, we have a dead body. Okay, of course we did. We unlocked the crematorium just a moment ago, didn't we? So let's go ahead and put down the crematorium. I think a good place for it. Ideally, we want it near the residential area. So if we put it here, I think that should work. For now, we have no water coverage down here, as we can see. So let's go ahead and start zoning some water pipes for them. To, I think there's going to cut it. And then along there. We have some overlap, so it's not the most efficient, but that's okay. And then obviously we are going to need to connect it into our existing water network like so. How are we doing on power now? Good, we've got plenty in the bank, which is fantastic. We can't... Oh, in fact, can we unlock a new tile? Can we unlock this one here? We can. We can easily afford it, so we'll purchase that tile now. And then what I want to do is, just so I don't block myself in and have to start demolishing everything, is I want to put this road across the river now, even though it's not going to be used for anything at this point. How does that look? In fact, let's just turn it to daytime. There we go. Anyway, yes, put that in for now, because then it's marked out ready, and we've made our intentions clear. Over this way, are we going to be running this highway down this way any further? To be honest, I don't think so. In fact, we could probably delete this stretch of highway and move this roundabout back here onto, so it forms part of this large junction. But I'll do that a little bit later. Okay, so there's no pop-ups above the buildings that are causing concern. Oh, we do have a shortage of workers out here. You want uneducated workers. I believe there should be some in and around the city, although looking at it now, we do need some more residential areas to be zoned down, so we'll continue expanding this little suburb that we started. Let's go back to our 2-lane roads, and we'll take it out, and we'll do it, like I said, we'll do a mixture of grid and freeform, just to keep that variety. There we go, that should work. So then we need some water down here, so we'll put that in anticipation. I'm going to try and keep the water pipes a little bit more efficient from now on. So that's giving full blanket coverage there, which is great. So let's go ahead and zone in some residential now. Let's just do a big blob like that. And that little bit there. Doubtless you're going to need some commercial soon as well, so we'll anticipate that and put some in now, ready to go. And what we'll also do is, before they take up all the building space, we'll go ahead and put a footpath in. I'd rather it not snap there, so let's turn off our snap to. And if we put it from there to there, there we go, we have a connection there, so they have a cut through. We're going to have to put one here as well, like that, and we'll try and get this one a bit more central because we've not started building yet, so we can. There we go. And then I think we'll also, no, we're not going to put one, in fact, yes, we'll put one here where they haven't yet built a building. There we go. And, sorry sir, I'm going to have to demolish the house you've just started constructing, because we're going to have some paths run down this way as well. There we go. In fact, we'll also do the same here, so we're going to have to demolish this building as well. We can pause it now, however. And we'll run this one down here. We can have a little sneaky connection between these two houses. We can have one down here as well. Demolish your house, I do apologise. There we go. All this is just giving them the option to walk, to make it as easy as possible for them to travel by foot. That's too short, is it? Okay, what about if I go like that? Looks a bit strange, but it's working. Now, where are we going to be able to squeeze you through? We can put you through like this. There we go. I like to put paths down. It does, as I said, keep traffic flow down somewhat, because the people will opt to walk where they can. I mean, we saw that over here on our footbridge, which is very busy. Excellent. And that's keeping the people off of this this roundabout. Obviously, we do have a few who still cross over on it, but that's fine. As we can see, primarily they are opting to use a footpath instead. We have a church. Let's have a look. Where's the church? What does this? Oh, it actually educates people. And it's got a very nice UK style to it, so we'll go ahead and place this down. Where would we want the church to be located? Well, given that it's an education building, and looking at it, it's elementary school education, so let's go ahead and place it away from our existing elementary school, and we'll put it up here. There we go. It's only providing a capacity of 50. But it's better than nothing, and it just makes the town look a bit more alive. Obviously, we can decorate it later if they don't start. In fact, have we got anything zoned down here? No, we don't. So that's why there's nothing built here. But as we start to zone out, this will get surrounded and look quite like the little village church. Now, one thing we could do if we have the money for it, we don't, just under, but we could start putting a tram system down, what's going to run straight down here, down the middle of our city, to encourage people to start using public transport and get on the tram rather than driving down here. But obviously we don't have the money for it at this time, and obviously we are going to have to pay to upgrade the roads to include tram lines as well. Unfortunately, as we can see, the roads with tram lines, we don't have the UK variant. No, we don't, so they are going to have to be the traditional variants. So all this work we've done, well, wasn't work, but all this upgrading we did down here to the UK road, we're going to have to undo it all if we want to put a tram line down here. Or we could run a bus straight down through here as well. I think that might be a bit cheaper. Actually, let's have a look. How much is the bus depot? So it's 30,000 or 40,000 for the Biofuel Bus Depot. What's the difference? Okay, so it's less noise pollution. It also consumes less water and also less electricity. So I think we'll go for the biofuel. And we'll put the bus depot, we'll put it along the main highway, obviously. Put it next to the cemetery, why not? There we go. Now we want to start putting some bus lanes down. Here we go, bus line. So what we'll do, as I said, we'll have one that runs straight down here. Down the middle. Oh, that's the wrong side of the road. There we go. We'll have one that comes straight down. Doesn't stop too often down this stretch. Down to say there. And then it can turn around and head back the way. And we'll have it stop either side of the street. Like this. So this is a very short, very quick, well, it's not short, it's very rapid, minimal stop bus line. Okay, doing a weird turnaround there, but that's okay. There we go. Do we have to add vehicles ourselves, or will it? Oh no, it's doing it. Here we go. Look, we have our first bus on the line. In fact, there it is. Nice double-decker bus there. And now what we want to do is where we have these stops stationed along the main avenue, we'll have some suburban bus routes which connect onto them so the passengers can get on the bus in this area and then transfer onto the main line straight down to the industrial sector. So we'll do that now then. So if we want to put in a new line, we'll start say down here, shall we? And we'll cover this area. In and around all these little side areas here. Like so. And then as you come down here, you're going to share the stops there and there. That way, as we just said, the passengers can use one line and transfer onto the other. There we go. So we'll do the same again for this little district. So we'll run it, say, this way. We'll do a quick loop around here just to get decent coverage. And we'll have a quick loop up here as well. And then as before, you're just going to pick up these stops here. In fact, is it worth... No, we'll not share there because they can just walk between those two bus stops, let's be honest. And then we'll do one more for this area as well. So again... just running down all the little side suburban streets here. Give them as much option as we can to encourage increased usage. We'll have one outside of the high school there so the pupils can take the bus to school. And then he'll just head back down this way, share those two stops there, and then there's his line connected. Okay, so I think that's a decent place where we're going to end this episode. We've got a little bit done. We've expanded our residential area. We've expanded our industrial area. We've put a new high school down, or our first high school down. We have a church. We have a cemetery. And we've also started our public transport system as well, which hopefully will start seeing decent uptake as the residents use the buses to get over to our... In fact, no, one last thing. We'll have a bus line in the industrial sector as well. So we can drop them pretty much at their place of work. Which will encourage... In fact, what we'll do just very quickly is we'll connect these two roads here. Go away. Where are we? Where are we? There we go. We'll connect that into there. And then if we go back to our bus line... that's going to create a new line. There we go. And then we can scoot around this forestry industry area as well. And then if you head up this way, share and share. There we go. So now we have a bus line serving our industrial sector as well, which is perfect, and it should give them, you know, that encouragement to use the bus. If the stop is right outside the work, why wouldn't they? Obviously they are going to have to change bus lines, but they do that, I hope. In fact, we can check, because if we look at our main line, which is this colour here. So we had 32 passengers last week. We dropped off 4, picked up 27, so yes, it's almost full. The residents are using our bus lanes, and that's going to have a... Whoa. Okay, that isn't how roundabouts work. You should all be giving way to traffic on the roundabout. That's in, you know, coming past. Can we use the TMPE tool just to force them to give way here? There we go. And that should then make that work as intended. Let's see. Yes, as we can see, any cars that are coming this way, any traffic waiting to merge on is giving way. Although they're not. That bus should have had priority there, but... oh well. Maybe we'll just tweak this roundabout in the next episode. We'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes. Other than that, though, however, the traffic doesn't... oh, it's getting pretty bad here as well, isn't it? Let's just do the same thing here with the mod. And make sure these, you know, give way to traffic on the roundabout, which is what they should be doing. Okay. So, as I was saying, I believe this is a decent place to end the episode. We've expanded the town nicely, and we've left off in a pretty healthy position. We're making 3,500, and we have good demand down here, which we can address in our next episode. So all that remains for me to say is, as always, take very good care of yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. It's ta-ta for now.